Hey everyone, welcome to Fire Flavor. My name is Matt. I'm your host, and today I'm talking to Kevin from Naked Hot Sauces out of Newmarket, New Hampshire. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing pretty good, Matt. How are you?
Good, buddy. Good to get together. You're a very busy man, from what I understand. So I thank you again for giving me some of your time today. Um, do you have any time for yourself today?
Yeah, I had a little time this morning. Yeah, no,
Good.
not
I'm glad to
much
hear that,
between
man.
jobs and things. Yeah,
Yeah,
getting ready
cool,
for a
man.
New England Made in New Hampshire Expo coming up in a couple of weeks. So
Oh, where's that at?
that's in Manchester at the DoubleTree,
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah.
April 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Oh, okay. So that's like a 3-day whammy. That's sick,
Yeah,
man.
it's crazy.
So how did you get into like hot sauce making and like spicy food in general? Have you always been into this kind of stuff?
I've always liked. Sorry, my dogs. Maybe
It's
go
okay.
nuts. I've always liked hot stuff ever since I was a little kid. I've always liked Mexican food and stuff like that. So when I was a little kid, I was like 9 years old. There was a place in Haverhill, Mass called Pedro Diego's, and we went there for dinner. And it wasn't your typical tacos and burritos and stuff like that. They actually had some stuff, authentic Mexican food, I guess, for
Yep.
the late '70s. And
Nice.
I tried chili verde for the first time, and it was fresh and green and spicy as hell, and I loved it. And from then on, I was hooked. So
It's awesome, brother. I,
I
I
don't know.
can tell you like the
Forward,
verde.
fast forward a couple decades, and I was working in corporate fine dining down in Massachusetts, and there was a garden on site, and they asked me, well, what kind of peppers, things that I wanted to grow because I was the chef. And I told them, chili peppers and cilantro and herbs and stuff like that.
Ooh, man.
That kind of inspired the very first sauce.
What was like the first hot pepper you grew that you fell in love with? Is it like a jalapeno, a serrano, or habanero even? Like,
I'd say probably jalapeno. We lived in the South, and I grew a couple of jalapeno plants, and they exploded. They probably got 45, 50 peppers off each plant. I mean, it was South
it's
Carolina,
amazing.
so perfect growing conditions.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Those are probably my favorite pepper to eat. Like I call it a casual pepper, you know what I mean? Because it's
yeah,
like it's hot, but it's low on the scale. Anyone can enjoy it. And I think it's one of the most satisfying ones to come and pick in the summer and just chop them up and use them for breakfast, like eggs or something. And I find it weird that we can't buy them ripe and red here in the States, really. They're very hard to find like that. So it's another reason I
yeah.
grow them.
Well, they call them at that point. They call them a Fresno pepper, I think.
Yeah.
Most
Oh, really? I
else.
see. I just thought Fresno was its own thing, but I guess that makes sense. Like I do love Fresnos. They're like, I don't know. There's when those chilies get red, they get a lot sweeter and the heat's still present. So it's wicked cool. Or wicked hot rather. So what got you into like, creating this company, Naked Hot Sauces? When did you start doing this venture?
Well, officially we started in kind of the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. That's when I, applied for the LLC and stuff.
Mhm.
But I started making hot sauces at that corporate location that I was the chef at. That very first season with all those peppers and stuff in the garden, I kind of put them all together and created what I ended up calling garden variety because it was essentially made from a variety of peppers that were in the
Yeah.
garden at
Nice.
the time. So,
Cool.
there were a bunch of different people there from all over the world, from India, from South America, from here, from, Great Britain, China. So I had a lot of different people from a lot of different cultures that were able to try this stuff because they all liked hot sauce. So a lot of people tried it, and a lot of people said, that's so good, you need to put it into a bottle. So that's kind of what started my mind to spinning, and
Yeah.
um, so I did. I put it in a bottle and started going to farmers markets, and I guess the rest is history. So,
It's awesome, man. That's a great dream to chase, dude. Like I said before, I really admire people that are doing what you're doing because I tried to do, and it's not an easy thing to get started. Did
Oh, it's
you,
definitely not. It's not an
no,
easy
the,
thing to maintain either.
no, no, I can imagine the state for one, even just starting a business like this, they don't, I've mentioned it on pretty much every episode just because I want people to know how like awful New Hampshire is about trying to start a company like this. They really want you to co-pack. They don't want you to do everything on your own. So fortunately, just about almost everyone I've talked to has had their own kitchen they can use commercially. And that's kind of awesome too. It's like, because that's really the dream. You don't really want someone like taking a recipe and making it because it just doesn't feel or taste right. You know what I mean? Or maybe it does. I don't know. But like,
Well,
I,
that's kind of the thing. That's really why I haven't really, um, looked into co-packing because I don't want, first of all, I don't want somebody taking my intellectual property, if you will, my
right.
recipes, and tweaking them and changing them, and doing whatever they do, in that world.
Right.
Not to say that they do or whatever. I don't know. But I'd like to be able to touch every pepper and roast every pepper, and cut the onions, and blend
Yeah.
everything together myself.
It's a
Um,
little more intimate that way, you know?
it is, although bottling by hand can be a chore for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and I always kick myself when I'm doing it because it is a bit of a chore. But if you get into a rhythm, and I literally still bottle by hand with a ladle and a funnel. I
Oh,
don't
nice.
have any sort of mechanical apparatus that's going to do my bottling for me. I haven't gotten to
So
that
that's
point yet.
that's a lot of effort, man. But that tells a lot about how much you care for what you're doing, and you put a lot of love into that. But when I was making them, so I like I had said, I had tried to do a hot sauce company, and it's just I couldn't get a kitchen to cook out of. And when I wanted to use a commercial kitchen, I looked into like a ghost kitchen. They wanted a lot of money up front. No, thank you. Not in the budget, and they wanted me there X amount of hours a month. Didn't think I needed to be there that much. But anyway, when I was making my own sauces, I had it's like it was like a pancake batter thing, and I would like put
Mhm.
it on the top and fill it up and use that. And that was kind of handy. But
It's pretty ingenious,
otherwise,
actually.
yeah, dude, you should check it out. Make your life a lot easier.
Hmm.
But I totally agree. It's a pain in the ass. Even with just like a ladle. That's what I was doing before, a little ladle. But dude, like still all the work you put into that, it really shows, like especially you talking about it and letting the listeners hear, like, hey man, I bottle this all by hand and I use a ladle and not many people would want to do that. So it's pretty
Yeah, it's
awesome, man.
definitely a labor of love, but over the years, in doing what I do for a living, I've kind of cultivated I think a pretty good palate, you know,
Yeah.
a, of knowledge of what goes together, flavor profile wise. So knock on wood,
Yeah.
so far it's working.
Yeah. I don't know. I was reading some of the ingredients on your bottles, and you do use some pretty. Sorry, I can't read this one
Tiny,
because
tiny labels.
yeah, that's all good. Yeah, you use some pretty interesting ingredients, serranos, but the one, no pun intended, this one's called the one. Um, this one caught my eye. Get that I can't remember. Yeah, uh, because of what you used in it. Let's see, it was Fresno chilies, which I love, tamari hot sauce, fantastic soybeans. Or sorry, no, skip
Tamari
that's for the
sauce.
soy
Yeah,
sauce. Red bell pepper, serranos, which are fantastic. Actually, a buddy of mine had some shit from LA, and I have them in my fridge right now. I'll be cooking with them. And then Korean red chili pepper. Is that like a gochujang or you just,
exactly.
yeah, those are good. So yeah, you definitely know what you're doing, and I wouldn't
You're
invite
gonna
you on
like
here
that
if you
one.
didn't, but I think so, dude. My partner's super excited to try it too because we were on the website and I was like, yeah, look at this one. We were looking at ones to get together, and it's funny because you have a sauce called Down the Hatch,
Yep.
and where girl. it's focused. When I was doing mine, my garden variety was called Down the Hatch, but I never sent it in to be tested. It's just what I was calling it because I used hatch chilies where I
Mhm.
work. We get them every summer, so otherwise I think they just called like Anaheim's or something. But they
Only,
call them
only,
hatch.
only grown in Hatch, New Mexico, the
Yep,
Hatch
yep.
chilies. So
And that's huge. It's like a huge thing there. It's like they have like a hatch chili festival out
mhm.
there. And but I work for a grocery store and we get them every year around the same time during harvest time. And the way it makes my store smell is insane, dude, because we put them on like a giant display of
Mhm.
hatch chilies. And the second you walk in the door, it's just like it's like being in heaven, dude.
All right, we're gonna have to talk online offline after about the Hatch
Oh
chili
yeah, you want some
situation.
hatch chilies? I can
Well,
help you with that.
I get them from a purveyor. Again, only that one time a year.
Yeah.
Mid to late August.
Yep, that's
But I'm
usually
always
about
looking
one.
for new
Yeah, yeah, we can
vendors
definitely
and
chat
stuff.
about
So
that,
new
brother.
sources. Sweet.
I'm happy to help any way I can. So I don't know. Let's talk about your like creative process, I guess. It says like you emphasize on minimal cooking and processing to preserve natural flavors of your fresh chilies. Can you elaborate how this impacts the taste and complexity of your sauces? Like less processing makes a more vibrant or authentic flavor without using like stabilizers and stuff.
Um, well, the process that I use and really for most of the sauces that I make, I take the chilies and I roast them over an open flame. So whether I'm using my Arizona chili roasters, chili roaster and doing it like that, just the fire, or if I do it on my grill with some mesquite smoke
Nice.
infused in there too, which is probably 8 out of 10 of the sauces I do that. Um, but when I get a ton of chilies, then the chili roaster is the thing because I can do
Yep.
20 pounds at a time, and I'm just spinning it, spinning it, spinning it, spinning it, and all the
Yep.
skins
Yep.
are coming off. So it's
So,
really a
oh, you
perfect
still,
situation for that. But yeah, so I really they get roasted. They get the skins and the seeds and the stems get taken off. I reserve those and I dehydrate them. I'll mix them all together, dehydrate them, and then grind them up, and I'll do a kind of a special spice, if you will. I call it Szechuan surprise.
oh,
But I take all those scraps and I make I mix it with Malden sea salt and some black pepper and stuff like that, and I'll throw some Szechuan pepper crumbs in there for the surprise. So I try to be as zero emission, I guess, if you will, or
yeah,
zero waste as
zero waste. Yeah.
possible. Try to use all the things. But back to the processing and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I roast the chilies. If I have onion in it, those get roasted as well. And then everything else, I mean, it just gets pureed up with whatever spices I decide, are going to go with
Yeah.
whatever
And
flavor profile I'm looking for. I don't really have too much of a creative process, if you will. Um, I decide I want to make something. Like take for example the one
yep.
we went out to a restaurant and it was we got a Korean specialty thing called bibimbap, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
gochujang sauce that came with it wasn't gluten free. My wife's gluten free, so I was kind of annoyed because we had been to that particular place before and it was gluten free. They
Hmm.
clearly changed the recipe, so or they bought a commercially available sauce or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Interesting.
I went home and I had some leftover chilies for making garden variety. And I had just like a little stainless steel bowl of like 3 or 4 different peppers and stuff. And I had a kind of a thought process in mind. And I turned those leftover peppers into, with some other ingredients, but into the very first, the one. I got 5 bottles out of it. And
Oh,
yeah, so that's become probably top 1 or 2 seller of all of them.
it
So
looks phenomenal. It caught my eye right off the bat. And I actually want to go back and touch on how we were talking about how you pretty much don't strain much at all. I'm gonna flash down the hatch on the screen. You can see that there's a lot of good stuff in there, and you don't see that often. A lot of sauces typically are vinegar sauces around here, I find, and also we got Reaper Madness Day too, guys. So he likes to keep a lot of that material in there. How much, if you strain any at all, how much would you strain? Like, do you strain like maybe 30% of it? It looks like you,
I
or
don't
do you
strain any of it.
you don't strain any of it? Okay.
I haven't strained a sauce yet.
Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started out, I had a Vitamix blender, and then when I left the corporate dining world, I ended up with a like a commercial kind of a stick blender
Hmm.
that I used, and then I went into the commercial space in dairy. I had to,
Yep.
like you talked about, renting space in a commercial kitchen, which in New Hampshire you have to um,
Right.
prepare stuff like this. Acidified foods have to be prepared in a
Yep.
commercial kitchen, and it's expensive. I mean, I paid
This-
in 2019 and early 2020, I paid it was $300 a month for 12 hours of time in this
Yeah.
kitchen. I
Yeah.
didn't have any storage per se, no refrigerated storage. Everything I got, I had shipped there. I brought it myself, um, and then I, made bottled all in one day and brought it back with me. So,
Yeah.
um,
I've talked to them before actually. I think they wanted yeah, they wanted me to be there like 12 hours a month or something.
12 was the minimum, I believe,
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I don't know if I need to be there that much. Like
but I could have
maybe.
used more. It just would have been more money, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, so I mean, what was your back to your question again? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
No, I tend to ramble.
No, that's what it's all about. That's what we're here to do, man. Is just chat. Really, there's no. The questions aren't as important as much as us just talking about our passion for food and chili peppers. And I did notice that when we met last week, you had a couple chili peppers on your arm, and that's freaking sick. I've been meaning to get a super hot tattoo to myself also. Do you still grow chilies, man? You still
I
like?
haven't. I haven't for a few years. I had a fatali pepper plant that I had
Mhm.
overwintered for 4 or 5 years. I found it at a farmer's market up the street from King Arthur Flower in Vermont,
Yep.
and the woman who was selling the plants and things there, she let me try one, and I loved it. So
Yeah.
super
Those are great.
citrusy, kind of a thin-walled, habanero kind of a pepper.
Mhm.
Um, but that was the last one. That and a Thai chili pepper that I had here at my house that I grew. But I've had farmers over the years of doing farmers markets. You connect with people and stuff that grow things. So
Yeah.
I had a couple of farmers growing my stuff for me over probably a 3 or 4 year period of time, and they've since separated. And one is he's growing grain over in Amherst. He's
Oh,
growing heirloom corn and stuff for tortilla and for Tuckaway Farm and um, I had some peppers grown for me as far away as Vermont, Quill Hill Farm. They were growing my Fatalis, my Fresnos, and my Reapers for a
oh,
season. So
nice.
I got 150 pounds of each of those from them.
Holy crap, that's a lot,
So
dude.
I'm sitting on still a bunch of a
Yeah,
bunch
you
of
can
stuff in my freezer. So
froze them, I guess. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a lot, bro. Wow. Yeah, I grew some chocolate Vitalis last year. No, 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 no. Sorry, chocolate Prima Tally. It's a 7 pot Primo, which is essentially a Carolina Reaper. Not sure if you heard of Primo pepper
yeah,
before, and Vitali cross chocolate. So these are just probably the meanest things I've ever grown, dude.
yeah.
Probably the meanest thing I've ever like grown, and brought me to tears taking a bite out of one immediately. And most super hots will, but if I grow it, I'm not afraid to try it, especially if I'm gonna make sauce with it, right?
Yeah, for sure. Need
Um,
to know what it tastes like to
yeah,
make it
and
taste good.
and Thai chilies are definitely one of my favorite things to grow too, because they're kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. Those and cayenne peppers, which is just like a giant Thai chili essentially. But like, it's just like I've grown them a few times, dude, and the bush is just like, and it
Mhm.
just keeps popping up little chilies everywhere, man.
Yeah, I had my Thai chili plant was grown in this big old
Oh,
slice
nice.
here. So
Yeah. I have a
Um,
plant tent over here. I just started a bunch of plants, so I'm like ready to go, man. I always start pretty early in the year.
well, you kind of have to in New England
Yeah,
because it doesn't ever get
yeah,
hot enough. You have to, you
yeah.
know, all the farmers that I've worked with have all grown the super hots in, you know, a high tunnel or
Yep.
a greenhouse of some sort because it just doesn't get warm enough for long enough here. So
Nope. It really doesn't. We get probably like 4 months of like good hot weather. Not even, not even like it's finally getting warm here now. Like it's not even that warm, bro. It's
like 2 days of 50s and then the rest of
I
the
know.
upper 30s.
It's like bonkers, man. So are you still a chef to this day, man? Like you still cooking? Is I'm not trying to pry into your
Yes,
personal
no,
life, but
no, not
you're
at
a
all.
cook, right?
That's my professional life. Yes, I am. Um,
Awesome.
yeah, I'm actually, we had a restaurant for 4.5 years, Fire and Spice Bistro over in Newfields. We moved it to Dover last April, and then we closed it at the end of this past year, 2024, just due to business.
Yeah.
You know, there the lack of business, I should say. But yeah, so I've been filling in for a chef friend of mine, David Vargas at Vita Cantina in Portsmouth for the last couple of months. But I'm actually starting a new job in Lynn, Mass, at Nightshade Noodle Bar
Nice.
down there. So that's pretty cool. It's a totally different situation than I like the cooking situation than I've ever worked in. It's a like a blind tasting menu kind of a place.
Blind
So
tasting.
yeah, so you can, I mean, you know what's on the menu, but you don't know what's coming to you until you get it.
Oh, that's crazy. I
Yeah,
actually kind
so
of love
that's
that.
kind of neat.
What?
You can
Is
you
it
can get anywhere
like,
from 9 to 30 courses. It's like 9, 15, 21, or 30 courses.
wow, dude.
So yeah, I'm super excited.
Wow, you must be busy trying to get
And
into
plus, I love
that.
Vietnamese food. It's like a Vietnamese
Yeah.
French kind of place. So
Oh, wow. That's a combination, dude. I was gonna ask if it was like some kind of Asian fusion style deal, and Asian like Vietnamese French is kind of I've never heard that before in my
well,
life.
France occupied Vietnam for quite a while in the 1800s. So
Okay.
their influences and stuff, you know, the bringing dairy cows and introducing cream and dairy and stuff to the
Oh, okay.
culture and breads, baguettes. Specifically, that's what a banh mi is based off of the baguette. So,
Oh
um,
yeah. I've had banh mi before. That's fun. Dude, history lesson of the day.
so yeah, but I've always been interested in you know Asian cuisine, you know South American, you know from Mexico on down, you know all the Latin American and stuff. Just I mean, it's my career. It's my you know what I've always
Yeah.
done. So
Yeah,
I've
that's
always just been
awesome.
interested in flavors and you know figuring
Yeah.
stuff out. So back to the creative process. I don't if I say you know I find out that oh there's a Haitian hot sauce called T Malice or Thai Malice and I want to try and make that. So
Yeah.
you
Get
know
some
I try to
scotch
make that,
bonnets.
and if I make a good version of it and I think it can be bottled or whatever, then I'll you know bottle it and send it to the state of Maine because that's where you have to send your stuff.
Yep. The University of Maine.
Um, and you know see how it goes. So that's kind of really how everything um, starts for me. Possibly, I get an idea
And
and I run with it.
you should let me test that for you. My wife did worked in Haiti actually for a while. She has a nonprofit where they helped get a school built out there and stuff for
Nice.
kids and stuff. Does a lot of good work for people out there. So yeah, dude. She actually loves like hot sauce, and she eats everything that I'll eat too, hot sauce. And we have a thing of like Haitian Scotch bonnet sauce in our fridge right now, so I'd
Cool.
be interested. I think closest thing to Scotch bonnets you can get here if you're looking for yellow ones are probably just habaneros. I don't know. So you probably have to find someone to grow you some
Got
scotches
some in
if
my
you want to
freezer.
do that. Oh, you got some? Beautiful. Dude, there's this pepper I love. I
Everywhere.
talk about it.
I'll go to Pennsylvania to visit my mother-in-law, or you
Yeah.
know, we will go and there's a place right up the street from where she lives that It's run by I don't even know. They're Latino of from somewhere, in South America, but they have an incredible assortment of hot peppers, regular peppers, herbs, vegetables. I mean, it's crazy cool.
That's
Um,
awesome, man.
so whenever I go there, if we drive, I always load up the box full of stuff to bring home. So,
I would too, because like you know as well as I know, it's not easy to come by anything like that around here, man. Like you really got to look for it and have someone grow it out for you.
mhm.
There's this chili pepper that I love, and I basically have to grow it every year. It's called a King Star Lemon Starburst, and essentially what that is, it's a Jamaican Scotch bonnet crossed with a Bohemian goat chili, and it has I've talked about it a bunch of times on the show, but it's my favorite. It's so prolific, but it has the heat level of a Scotch bonnet or habanero, and it has this like crazy like UFO kind of shape to it with a stinger at the bottom.
Yep.
They're so dope. I'll show you after. Um, but I don't know, man. If you ever get back into growing chili peppers, let me know. I have a ton of seeds and I love to share. So, if you just get bored.
Right on.
Um, so like, do you still hit the farmers markets and stuff? Or I imagine you're pretty busy, but during the summer, do you ever
I
hit those up?
once we opened the restaurant in July of 2020. So obviously, in the beginning of 2020, everything shut down with COVID.
Mhm.
I was signed up for a bunch of different markets and stuff. The Made in New Hampshire Expo, the Barbecue Fest at Budweiser, at Memorial Day weekend, or Father's Day weekend rather. A bunch of different things, but everything got canceled or shut down or whatever.
Right.
So honestly, the last farmers market I did was the Kittery Winters Market in the beginning of 2020.
Oh, wow. So it's been
So
a
then we
while.
opened up the restaurant, and I was always just busy at the restaurant doing
Right.
that. So I wanted to get back into doing markets again this year. That was kind of the plan, the goal, I suppose, for the year was to get back into doing markets, get myself and the sauces back out there, in front of the people again.
Yeah.
Kind of build us back
Yeah.
up. Um, but now I've got this sick job coming up that,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
I'm
probably gonna
I'm
take more time.
I'm
Yeah.
54 years old, and I don't think I'll ever get this opportunity again in my culinary career. So I feel like I need to jump on this one. So
Grasp it.
it might be a minute before I get back into the markets full time, but I have events. I do the New England Hot Sauce Fest every
Yep.
year. I've done that since the beginning. And Gabe from Spicy Shark, super super gracious, and he's
Nice
a dude.
dude.
He does good things for the hot sauce community, which is, especially the local community, which is pretty
Yeah.
awesome. So I do that every year, and so I'll get out and probably do one-offs for random stuff. Maybe in the winter, I'll do the Sunday winter market again in Kittery, and yeah, I might do
That's
the
awesome.
Monday Durham market. Who knows? Maybe it's
Yeah.
you know,
So it's been a while and in short, but you want to get back into it, but now you're getting this like crazy opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity, pretty much. Um, so that's gonna derail you going back to markets, but you still do the hot sauce fest. And I was actually going to ask you if you're going to that this year. I think I saw your company's name on the site because I skimmed through it. I'm gonna actually go. I'm gonna
nice,
try to go this year. I took it off, and I'm gonna walk around testing sauce on camera
sweet.
and talking to people. So obviously, anyone that I've talked to, I'm gonna come and say hi to you again, dude, and have
Yeah.
some sauce and talk to you and put you back on the show. But so like, we're definitely gonna link up again, regardless. Um, that's cool, dude. I went to the very first one that they had, and I haven't been able to get back since. But this year, I made it a point to take the time off because, like you, always busy.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I'm pretty excited to go back. And the first year is a pretty crazy turnout, so I can only imagine how it's grown.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot bigger. They have more contests and stuff. They've
Yep.
got the wing eating
Yeah.
competition, the Reaper or whatever Pepper X eating competition at this point probably. So
Oh God, man, do you
because Pucker Butt sponsors a few of those events, and
right?
as we all know,
I
Ed
don't
Perry's the
know.
guy.
Yeah, I don't know if Ed's gonna let them eat Pepper X though, because unless they de-seed them, he's so protective over that
Yeah,
with reason. They
yeah,
might.
for
I
sure.
I bet they'd slice them in half and take it off the little placenta and stuff. It's such a nerd. Have you looked at that thing? It is so
Oh,
crazy looking. It's
yeah.
so crazy looking, dude. I love super hots just because of how crazy they are. And that's why I started growing them myself, is because like all the different shapes and colors and how like mean they look. And I don't know,
Alien.
it just so yeah, something just like so attractive to me about that. It's like, you shouldn't eat it, but you want to anyway. Like you're like, how's my butt gonna feel tomorrow? Probably not good. Is it worth it? Yes. Um, but yeah, dude, so I can only imagine like how crazy it's gone over the last couple of years. And oh, back to the wing eating competition the first year
Mhm.
when they got to the bomb and a bunch of people had tapped out by the bomb. That guy from Heat 101, I can't think of his name right now. He goes
Oh,
every year, right?
Brandon or Brendan?
I think so. He has a moniker he uses online. But anyways, another YouTuber. He's
Hmm.
like, "Oh, do we have any people that want to try the bomb wings? We have the bomb wings." And I went and I just like mad one down, and that sauce is disgusting.
Yeah, that's all I've ever heard about it.
There's
Um,
no redeeming quality to that, man. And as someone who loves food and flavor, that stuff not good. It's I respect the craft. It's a definitely a gag,
oh, for sure.
definitely one of those. But I like ate one of those wings and I had the tears and the boogers and all that crap. And I'm like, I was fine. It went away in a minute because, when you eat something like that, it's going to go away.
Hmm.
Spice is not permanent, spice is temporary. And so I'm like, it's about the end of the day, get into the car with my buddy and we're driving. And he is all excited because we just did that. He's like, yap, yap, yapping. And I'm driving. It's like churning in my stomach. And I look at him like, I'm sorry, man. You got to shut up. I can't talk right now. When we get home and I open the door, dude, and I just like barfed all over the street
Oh,
outside of my apartment. It was so bad, man.
rough.
It was so freaking bad. But like, yeah, that's my tale of eating the bomb at the hot sauce festival. And then they were giving away Reaper peppers. So I took one of the Reapers from Ed. He
Yeah.
handpicked them, I guess. I still have the seeds from it. I haven't grown it out because I had a Reaper plant for like 3 years almost. And I told you, I just recently moved from Manchester over to Exeter. Um, so like that plant just was not coming with me. I had to cut down everything pretty much before I came out here.
Mm.
Uh, but I don't know. That's such a blast, bro. You must have so much fun at that,
Oh
and
yeah,
you get to meet all sorts of people.
I love doing all the events and stuff. I really miss it. I mean, you get to meet an amazing cast of characters, if you will. I mean, the general public is is quite interesting and
Yeah,
entertaining. We'll say, especially an event
yeah.
like that, because everybody's either there to find their next favorite hot sauce. I mean, I would hope that's part of the goal. But then there's the ones that are there like it's totally a gag. Like I want the hottest one, and
Yeah, exactly. And I feel
they
like,
don't necessarily taste good when they get that
yeah,
hot. It's
no, when
more
when you're eating tar, it's not fun. And I guess some people like that gag, and I also honestly feel like that's why a lot of people don't are afraid to try hot sauce. I don't say they don't like it because I'm a firm believer that anyone can find a hot sauce that they like. I fully believe that. Everyone just has different tolerance, and if a little bit of heat scares them, it's fine. But there's this guy that I work with, younger dude, and he could not handle anything. He just like, nope, I don't like spice. And then slowly over the past year, he's been trying more and more. And I gave him taste of some hot honey I got last week. And it was made with, Reapers, ghosts, habaneros, like really, really hot stuff. And he's like, oh, this is amazing. So
nice
if you're out there listening, guys, you too, if you're not into spicy foods, well, I don't know why you're watching this, but also like you can definitely find something you like. So,
for sure. You start low and slow like barbecue.
yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great one. There's my job has a sriracha barbecue sauce. It's fantastic. We get it every year. It's just like smoky, sweet, hot. It's such a kick in the ass. It's the best, man. Let's see. So where do you see this going in the future, man? Is this more of like a side gig hobby to you? Like how what is your vision for this company?
Well, when I first started, I had a 5-year plan, and I was going to continue to work in corporate dining while building up the business. On the
Mhm.
weekends or whatever at markets and things like that. And in 5 years, I was going to retire, if you will, from corporate dining and do it full time.
Yep.
But life happened, and 3 years into that 5-year plan, I ended up starting to do it full time. Because I had to.
Yep.
Um, but then fast forward a couple of years, we get in the business up and running and stuff, and we're doing pretty well with it. And life happens again. We find ourselves opening a restaurant, um,
Yeah.
which was always has always been a goal or a dream of ours. Since we first met, my wife and I. So
Awesome.
we ran with the restaurant thing and kind of put the hot sauce company on the back shelf, if you
Yep.
will. Although at Fire and Spice Bistro, we used 5 or 6 of the hot sauces,
Good.
in the menus, items, and stuff like that. We had a thing called the Fiery Five, which was, pico de gallo, 3 different sauces, a cooling avocado crema to, kind of help
Yeah.
build the fire, and then some Mad Reaper's nuts, which are nuts that I make as well, hot nuts.
Oh, nice, dude. Some flaming
Um,
nuts,
so
bro.
so we kept the hot sauce company, alive, because I mean that's ultimately what I wanted to be doing,
Right.
is just going around the country and selling it and trying and having people try it and love it and all that.
It's a
So
it's a hell of a dream, man.
that's the ultimate goal. But this opportunity I couldn't pass up, this
Of course
job.
not,
So
man.
yeah,
No, that's I would do the same thing, man. I always wanted when I was trying to do hot sauce, I wanted that to be my main thing too. But again, life happens. Can't always can't always get to what you want to when you want to, but it's still always there. I guess my other question was, since you had the restaurant, were you selling your sauces there too? Or
yeah,
you just had them on the table? That's
yeah.
sick,
No,
man.
we
So
we didn't have them on
that's
the
a good,
table. We had them on a shelf, for sale. They were on the menu. You could get them as a side. So if somebody wanted a side of Reaper Madness or a side of Garden Variety, or Fatali, whatever they liked
yep.
that they had tried before or whatever, or we would just give suggestions. What do you have any hot sauce? I want some for my omelet or whatever, and
Yeah.
we would suggest what's your heat level, and then suggest accordingly. But yeah, they were all available for sampling, or for eating like that, and then we had them for sale as well. So that worked out. And I have
That's
them in
awesome.
stores and stuff in the area too. But
Yeah, I think I saw on Instagram maybe you have some in a local market somewhere around here. Is it Newmarket? You have some in a
yeah,
store
there's Newberry Farms in Newmarket, Newfields Country Store in Newfields, Tuckaway Tavern has them in the
oh yeah,
butchery. They've
cool,
got
man.
5 or 6 of them, plus the Mad Reaper's nuts.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
um, Also, Fiddlehead Farms in Somersworth has them too.
Oh, cool, man. So you're a little bit everywhere around here. That's cool. It's a good spread. Tuckaway's nuts, man. I have so my cousin worked there. I don't know if he still does, but he would always bring me food because I don't have 2 hours to wait to eat there.
Yep.
It's like pretty crazy stuff, man. I've met Bobby before, really nice dude.
Yeah, he is for
Um,
sure. He's the reason I'm in there, actually.
oh really? That's sick. Yeah, he was trying to help us out when we were doing that because my cousin and I were business partners at the time. And he was saying, yeah, you can come cook here. And that was super cool, but it just ended up not working out. But he set up a taco night at one of his restaurants in Durham. And we had our sauces all lined up and it was pretty nuts, dude, to have people coming in and like taking your sauce and like trying it on tacos and not even some of them would read the cards because we had little cards that said everything,
Hmm.
like what was in it, the heat level. So we had 4 or 5 sauces at the time. One was an umami black garlic sauce, so very low on the heat scale. Had Fresno chilies, like these like Chinese cow horn peppers, um, garlic, black garlic, apple cider vinegar, white vinegar. Excuse me, bubbly drinks, man, make me burp. And then we had a friendly Reaper series, right? So it was our Reaper series, it was a Reaper habanero garlic sauce. And that would be, you know, it in terms it would go like hotter in each level. So it was like friendly Reaper, not so friendly Reaper, and then impolite Reaper, which was the hottest and had Carolina Reaper and scorpion peppers. So it was like a double whammy of heat. But anyways, like we had these info cards saying what they were, and people would come up and they'd be like, "Oh, yeah," and they'd be like, "Holy shit, this is so hot," because they wouldn't even read.
Yeah,
But it's
no,
like, take the hottest one and throw it on there, so it was actually very amusing to watch that. And I'm sure you get a lot of that too.
oh
People
yeah,
are like, "Oh, I wanna try that," and you, like, watch their eyes bulge out of their head for a second because it's not what they're expecting.
yeah. Get that bead of sweat on their lip, and
Yep.
their eyes get red, and they're like, yeah, it's
Do
funny as hell.
yeah,
But
do
then
you
you're
ever
amazed, and
like
you're watching like little 10 or 12 year old kids that come in for the hottest one, and they're like
yeah,
unfazed.
mouth it. Yeah, dude. Some kids can handle it. Some kids love the heat, man. It's amazing. Um So, so I gonna say, thinking here, I want to try these in a few. This looks freaking crazy hot because of how brown it is. um, so what would you say to someone who wants to start this venture into creating their own hot sauce or starting their own food business or anything like that? Like finding their niche maybe, or like what would be good advice to someone who wants to, yeah.
I would say do like the markets, do the farmers markets, the holiday shows, the things local to you. Um, Try to get a following, find out if people actually like it. I mean, it might just be something that you like, that because people have obviously got different tastes and stuff. So, make sure that you've got people that are behind you that love it, that are going to come out and buy it and support you and share your posts and things like that. Because that's key. I mean, these days, social media and FaceTime are pretty key.
Yeah.
Um, in the world of specialty food and stuff. Um, if you've been making, I don't know, like a fried chicken or something like that, some sort of a batter forever, and everybody that you make it for loves it and stuff. I mean, that's something you might try if you do maple syrup, or I kind of having a brain fart myself, but I mean, hot sauce is kind of the easiest thing that translates to getting out there and having people try it. But I mean, anything from candles to clothing to whatever, and you see all kinds of stuff at these farmers markets and state fairs and stuff like that. So get get yourself a following, and that's really the easiest way to do it. I think and it's short money to commit to a farmers market. In most areas, it's 40 or 50 bucks for the season, and you choose the
It's not bad at
Sundays
all.
or Saturdays that you can attend. And um, but again, the general public is a perfect litmus test for your products, because they're ultimately the ones that are going to be buying them.
Right. It's a
So
lot of putting yourself out there, really. It's key. And like I'd say nowadays it's a lot easier to put yourself out there, but it's also hard because you kind of have to like put the work into putting yourself out there. You're posting online or connecting with people in markets and stuff. It's not easy, but I
it's
think
it's
my
harder
brother,
now too, because you've got people that are haters, that just are um, have nothing nice to say or
yeah.
whatever. Always want to comment on posts that have nothing to do with them or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of assholes online, man. And I think in this world we should be doing less asshole things and being cooler to each other and, you know, supporting
Yeah,
people that do cool
for
stuff
sure.
like making hot sauces. I think it's time to try some, man, because we got a few to try and talk about here. So think we're gonna start with down the hatch. Naked
Good
hot
start,
sauces, Newmarket, New Hampshire. Give it a little shake there. And oh, thank you for the perforated seal.
buddy.
Oh, fake trusty sauce spoon. Chuck. It's customary. And ooh, this smells great, buddy. Nice verde. And this is probably the least hot one we have today, right?
It is
This,
the top one you have
cool.
there. Yeah,
Oh man.
that's a variation of the garden variety recipe. It is all hatch green chilies, garlic, onions, everything roasted over
Oh,
open flames.
looks and smells delicious, man. Like I could definitely use this on my nachos,
Yeah,
my taco, any Mexican
anything
inspired
Mexican.
dish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my go-to for like egg sandwiches and breakfast burritos,
Yep.
stuff like that.
Uh-oh.
You could throw into like into chili verde even.
Oh
Give it
yeah.
those layers of flavor and a little bit of heat, not too crazy.
Then I will eat a lot. I know it's hard to see, guys. Let's see if I can. No, I'm gonna spill it everywhere. That's okay. I'm dripping it. That's okay. We don't care. That's really good, man.
Thanks.
That's amazing. I don't know where I just dripped it. I don't care. I'm gonna eat some more. It tastes very fresh. Definitely has that classic verde flavor to it. I like that there are solids in this, man. It gives it a little texture. It's not just a, loose, watery,
Right.
vinegary thing. Can still taste vinegar in it, of course, but I would want to with a sauce like this. Um, there is heat. It's not super hot. I think I used to have like serranos in here, right? Yeah.
There's a combination of hot and mild hatch chilies in that batch
Oh,
too.
okay. Cool. Yeah, no, is it trying to, is it smoky? Am I tasting some kind of smokiness?
A little bit of smoke.
Not sure. I could just drink the rest of the bottle. I might actually.
That's my go-to. That and garden variety, my two sauces that I'll use like as a
Ooh,
salad dressing. If I have taco salad or if we have tacos, I throw everything in the bowl and pour that over.
that's amazing. Dude, maybe I'll do that for the tasting segment. Taco salad. I haven't done that. Or tacos. Thinking about it. Hmm. I don't know, because I might like the one more. Just kidding. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see.
That's
I
why
think
it's
I'm gonna
called the
like them
one.
all, man.
It's
Yeah.
it's that's it's called the one because it's the one and only sauce you need.
Dude, I find it. So like since I've been doing this now, so I'll just preface this. I came up with the idea to do this show probably 2.5 months ago. I was laying in bed. I had a lump in my back taken out and I was bored and sitting on my ass all day. I was like, what do I do with myself? I want to do something. I can't make hot sauce right now. I was like, I want to talk to people that make hot sauce. Um, anyways, it's amazing. So, ah, she's a picky. It smells hot. It does smell like gochujang, like that, like style, that
You don't even
Asian
need
style.
you don't even need to shake it. That's the beauty of that one. That's like
Yeah,
scoop it out like mayo, spread it
yeah.
on a
Oh,
bun.
I'm noticing that now. And actually, let's look at that delicious gunk in the cap, dude. Nothing, it's like nice and thick, pasty. Oh boy. All right, let's see it. Oh, yeah. So I also just want to add, I appreciate how much you love food and cooking because that's another indicator that that you really put a lot of work into what you're doing here, man. You can be someone who makes sauce, but you can also be someone who loves food and makes sauce and wants it to taste fantastic. So we're going to try the one,
That's
as
my
Kevin
my
said,
uh my mantra is I don't put anything into a bottle unless it tastes good. So
good. And it literally says the only sauce you need. Kevin said it himself. So let's give it a shot. Trying it plain. Maybe I'll try it on something else later. Well, I definitely will,
anything.
but
French fries, cheeseburger, bowl of white rice.
That's good. That's not very hot. I don't find it to be very hot, but I
No,
find it to
it's
be very
not.
good.
It's more of a it's an all-purpose condiment,
Ooh,
if you will.
the soy comes out really nicely.
Mhm.
I love that. Oh man. All right. I would definitely do this with like tempura anything, man. Like tempura chicken, vegetables, even like a scallion pancake, put a little bit on top, drizzle that
Yep.
on top. Oh, there's the heat. The heat's coming in now.
I have a customer from the Cape who buys like a half a case at a time, and he mixes it He uses it exclusively for sushi. He'll mix it with mayo and like chopped up tuna and make spicy tuna
Oh
roll.
man. This is awesome, dude. I think
It was
I don't know.
originally named Awesome Sauce, but I couldn't get behind that phrase. It kind of drove me nuts because it was a thing for years, and then
Yeah, I get that. It's fucking awesome sauce, bro. Dude, the one, fantastic. Man, maybe I have to rethink dinner tonight. Oh shit. The heat does kick in at the end. It's not extreme.
mm,
It's very, very good. I'm gonna be going through this bottle pretty quick, I think. I've been really so before I had like excuse me, before I moved here, I had a mini fridge full of hot sauces, but
mm.
they weren't, they were kind of like as hot as I can get kind of things. I'm getting way more into flavor now. So I'm way better about eating all my sauce now. um,
Yeah, we had a
it's
hot
funny.
sauce shop in Newmarket for a little while, getting saucy, and we only carried sauces that we had tried that we knew were good from quality companies. So
Good.
we've taken that tour on the road though. We're doing all online sales and stuff now because a brick and mortar just doesn't make sense.
No, it's hard to own like a physical store with a business like this, man. It is. I just like I said before, I think people are like afraid of hot sauce that they haven't like necessarily found one they liked yet. And I think there's one good one. So we're gonna go on to Reaper Madness. Ah, shit looks so mean. Let's
Careful.
see. Eat at your own risk. It may just drive you mad. Well, buddy, mad is my initials. And actually, I don't think I saw this on your other bottles, but I'm gonna point it out on this one particularly. He has a heat scale. Crazy hot. Three little angry chili peppers. It's his
Three of these
little
guys.
character. Yeah, three of those guys. So sick, dude. Oh boy. All right. So this is I always save the hottest for last because I don't want to die in an
Yeah,
interview.
that's what I always caution people to do in the tasting events and stuff, but they don't listen,
No.
which makes it comedy relief for me, comic relief.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
But yeah, be
All right.
careful with that one.
Oh, that smells hot, brother. Oh, you know that itch in your nose you get?
Yep.
You ever gas yourself out cooking this stuff, dude? You ever need to wear a mask?
It's
I'm
usually
used to
during
it now.
cleanup when you're cleaning the pots and pans and you're spraying with the hot
Yeah.
water and
Yeah,
whatever
the
because it
steam.
kind of yeah it kind of turns it into that crazy hot steam that gets in your eyes.
All right. Let me cleanse my palate.
And dairy doesn't work. Don't believe it.
No, no, dairy never works.
Sugar
Mango,
sugar works.
mango, mango. Yeah. All right. Oh God. Here we go. All right. I took a modest amount. Well, I don't know if you can see,
Let's
Kevin.
preface this tasting with the very first person that I had try that. Very first person, he was crying by the time he had the second lick of the spoon.
Amazing. All right. Well, let's cry.
About the time it gets to the back of your throats when you feel the heat,
Oh, I feel it. It's coming.
and
Holy
it kind
shit.
of ramps up too. It's got a it'll reach its
Ah,
crescendo in a few minutes.
ah, that's hot. So let's go over the ingredients real quick while my forehead's starting to sweat. Seasoned rice vinegar, red wine vinegar. Two excellent choices. I can taste the red wine vinegar. Rice vinegar, I can't quite pick out with my tongue yet, but now I like that. Adds that extra punch. Let's see. And you don't also see red wine vinegar and hot sauce often. Lime juice, garlic. Carolina Reaper is the first pepper on this sauce.
There's
So in
six.
terms,
Sorry,
what's that one?
there's 6 3/4 pounds of Reaper per 100 bottle batch.
Yeah.
So it works out to about 6.5 Carolina Reapers per 5 ounce bottle,
Yeah.
plus everything else. But definitely the
Dude, I think Woo,
predominant
that's hot.
use.
I'm gonna try another one. It's really good, dude. I like it.
Thanks. A little bit smoky, a little bit sweet.
Yeah. The vinegar really makes it stand out. And it's not just a vinegar sauce, guys. Like, yes, vinegar is the first ingredient, but however, he
Vehicle.
keeps all the solids in here and he uses a nice vinegar. He doesn't use like just cheap stuff. Let's see. So let's get back to it. Carolina Reaper is the first chili in here, meaning that is the most of the chilies in here. Um, jalapeno, uh, ancho, which is like like a larger, less hot jalapeno style pepper, kosher salt, smoked paprika. That's where our smokiness comes in. Tamarind paste. Was not expecting that. Serrano chili pepper. Is that pepper? No. Chili
Yeah,
de herb. Woo! It is hot. All right, spoon two. Wow, bro. That is undeniably delicious.
thank you.
It is really hot, but it's not gag level hot. I could put this on like tacos or something. I don't know if I'd eat a plate of wings with it because that'd just be this kind of fuck me up. But
Masochistic.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Ooh, that's hot, man. That's really good. So what I've been doing is I have a wing night with my friends pretty often. I put all the sauces out and I get their opinions on it too. I think I actually start recording that
Yeah, you should.
because
That's
yeah, I
cool.
put them. So I did it first time in a couple of years last week. Had five friends over, lined up all the hot sauces I had, and we kind of just take turns picking one
Mhm.
and shaking it, tossing our wings, discarding, and woo, we saved the hottest for last. But
Sweet.
I don't know if I have like three that are super hot. I think this is like the second hottest one I have. The other one I have is from, I don't know if you've heard of Torchbearer before,
Yep.
but they have a garlic reaper. It's just so nasty. I don't even think, no offense, Torchbearer. I don't think it tastes good. I think it's just all hot. This is actually very flavorful. I told them too. I messaged them, tell them that I did that, and they're like, "That sounds rough." I'm like, it was rough. It wasn't that fun, but it was fun. All your sauces are great, man.
Thank you very much.
I think in terms of flavor, yeah, man, the one I could use that with just about anything. And we're excited about having this one in our pantry. And this one down the hatch, also fantastic for all your Mexican food needs. This one, um, I would actually probably put this on like steak. I would cook up some like steak, not like an actual like rib. I'd like cut it up and use it on like a steak sandwich or I don't know. I would eat this with wings. I probably will end up eating this with wings. What would you suggest eating this one with?
Well, at the restaurant, we used that for a spicy Bloody Mary mix.
Oh
But a
yeah,
tablespoon or two of that was enough to spice a 448 ounce can batch of like if you're using tomato juice or V8 or whatever. So
absolutely.
figure like a 2 gallon batch, a couple tablespoons of that was good enough to heat that
It's
for the
seriously hot,
regular
brother.
people. But
It's
I
seriously
mean,
hot.
wings for sure. You could add it to heat up a chili, or spaghetti sauce even if you want to do like a fra diavolo or something like that.
It's a pretty good
Arrabbiata
idea.
sauce. That'd be a
Woo!
good one.
Wow,
A little
brother.
goes a long way. It's not like you're I mean, I've had a bottle in my fridge for about 4 years until my refrigerator died and I had to throw everything out. So, um,
That's sad.
yeah,
Oh my
sure.
god.
But
Yeah, a little does go a long way. I can tell. I just ate 3 spoons of it, but I eat a lot of hot sauce, so it's not killing me.
right.
But it would kill the average person, guys, if you were not into total heat.
Mhm.
Maybe stay away from it, but I don't think you should. I think it tastes awesome. I think it brings the fire and the flavor. So I'm
Right on.
all about it. I'm all about what you're doing, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Where can we find you?
Nakedhotsauces.net is where the website is where you can order stuff. You can also order it at gettinsaucynh.com.
Hmm,
That's getting with just the GETTIN. And then let's see, we're at Newbury Farms in Newmarket. We're at Newfields Country Store in Newfields. We're at Tuckaway Tavern and the Butchery, right between the steak tip cases, right there on the corner when you walk by to go to sit at the bar. So you can't miss us, which is it's a perfect
Awesome.
spot. We're
Awesome.
at Fiddlehead Farms in Somersworth, and hoping to be at a grocery store near you. So
That'd be awesome, man. I would love to see that. I think it's well deserved, especially with your culinary history and future coming up here. But this stuff is all fantastic, guys. We got again down the hatch. Oh, where's my camera? It's moving. That was a crazy ass camera. All right. The one, and lastly, the one I'm tearing up and choking on here is Reaper Madness. Fantastic. All of them are packed with flavor, and they do go up in heat in succession. And he has other sauces too. So please check out his website, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for coming in, Kevin. I really
you,
appreciate your time, man. You've been a blast. So you have a great day.
thanks, man. You too. Appreciate it.
Peace. Hey, everybody. This is the tasting segment of the show where I try the sauces that were presented on this episode on actual food. Sometimes I will do wings, sometimes I will do other kinds of food. Tonight I'm going to do some tacos with some Reaper Madness. Sorry if that's a little hard to see. And some Down the Hatch from Naked Hot Sauces out of Newmarket, New Hampshire. Since I have tried these two sauces, all I have thought about is making tacos or some kind of Mexican dish with it. So let's see what's going on. First, I started by sauteing some peppers, onions, and garlic in a pan with some oil until they were just soft enough. After that, I seasoned and cooked some sirloin tips and added the vegetables. After I finished assembling my tacos, it was time for the sauce. I started with Down the Hatch. The sauce has just about everything I'd want in a verde. It has a tangy vinegar taste in the front, but all the fresh ingredients shine above it all. From the fresh garlic to the serrano peppers, I really love this blend, and I love that you didn't strain anything. Next up was Reaper Madness. The sauce is extremely hot, and as you can see, I poured too much on my taco. I still ended up eating it, even though it almost killed me. All in all, I'm a big fan. Next time I want to try to marinate my beef in it. I think that would also be a great application. So thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next episode of Fire and Flavor. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Peace out.